Let's do this video on UNH. I mean, I called this to the dollar. I'm so proud of it. 248. And I'll show you how. It was actually very simple. It's really easy. Before I get started, go over to ZTRADEZ.net, check out the terms and conditions page. Read the terms and conditions, as well as the disclaimer. If you do not agree with it, don't watch this video. Don't join the free newsletter below. Just get our watch list before the week starts. And don't join the free Discord. If you do agree to it, feel free to watch this video and do the opposite of everything I just said. Let's jump into it. UNH, and I had posted this weekend on the newsletter. I've been talking about it in chat. We had a gap filled to 307. That's been filled. Let me show you what I was looking at here. And I want to go over some recent news on UNH here. Okay, let's go to a monthly. Let's turn the linear chart off. Let's move my mug over here. So simple. So simple. Volume shelf. And we tapped it. Like Adam Sandler and Happy Gilmore. Those of you that are 35 and older, you know what I'm talking about. And we shot right up off of it. It's very simple. Volume shelf. That was what I was looking at. We were at the end of the day, even without that, I could have just looked at this and been like, man, the RSI is basically at 2009 levels. And if not, it's right there. Why don't I start scaling in? I don't buy a lump sum all at once unless it's 100 shares. And I'm going to, it's for the purpose of selling covered calls, which I should have done, obviously. Of course, I'm going to say that after it shot up. We had this massive volume gap over in here. And it was just primed perfectly. For earnings, they beat earnings, but the forecast wasn't that good. You can see right here, Q1 earnings, we beat it. So that's how I was able to call it at 248. I said anywhere from 248, 249. I said right there, between 247 and 249 is what I said. I got in at 271 and 258, and we ended up dropping more. I should have scaled in more, but I just kind of paused for a little bit. And we filled that gap, and we have another gap, which is over here. I don't know. It's going to take probably news. It could slowly grind up over time, but this fast launch, you can see where RSI is now. We're at 77. A little bit of divergence. That's a 15-minute. Pretend I didn't say that. I didn't say that. Let's go over to a daily. Let me look at the RSI over here. Yeah, never mind. Pretend I didn't say any of that. It would be nice to see us come up into this volume gap. And this is right where the gap fill is. I'd love to see us come up into here. So I don't see us, filling that gap or this gap over in here. We could, like I said, slowly grind up and fill this gap right here, but I don't see this gap being filled until earnings. You guys got to keep in mind, when a big company like this, it's not a penny stock that's doing an ATM. When a big company like this plummets, this is the executive's net worth. They're going to shift around the executives and the board members and everything. They're going to come up with a disaster recovery plan, and they want to get the stock back up. It's a while till UNH has earnings again, because they basically just had it. But all they've done is beat. Take a look at earnings right here. Beat. We can just keep going back forever and ever. Beat, all the way back. I can't really zoom in too well here to really see. Maybe I can stretch this out. Look at this. This is ridiculous. I mean, I've got data right here back to 2010. I mean, they just beat and beat and beat and beat. And it's not like people are like, the stock's down. I know, I'm going to switch to whoever else, for health insurance. They're not going to cancel their plans. Now, I get it. RFK's in, and there's going to be some things could shift around. And they had a bad forecast, and they were being investigated. So, and it was an overreaction, in my opinion. But at the end of the day, the earnings are still there. And that's what gives me the confidence, just like on HIMS. Let's go ahead and pull up HIMS. When HIMS dropped on temporary bad news, look at the earnings on this. Stock hasn't been out too long. Basically started in 2019. That may have been a SPAC. That came into a spec. I don't know. I'd have to look back on that, but you can see that they were obviously public there at that point. Earnings has been a beat. It had a big drop over their weight loss drug. And then that got solved, and we just bounced right back. I had been calling it down here on my watch list in the Discord. I'd been selling put options, betting that it wouldn't go lower. And it panned out well. Let's go back over to UNH. So, yeah, I expect that gap to be filled up here. Again, it can slowly grind up and fill the gap. And I don't expect this gap or this gap over in here to be filled until really good earnings beat and they say something good. Keep in mind, I only buy stocks when they're plummeting. I don't buy toppy stocks and then hold it for it to go down a year later and me end up right back where I was or red. So I held for a whole year for nothing to get like a 0.5% dividend or 1%. I mean, that's just ridiculous. I don't do that. I don't get FOMO. I get angry at myself for not buying when it was low instead of getting FOMO. I sit on my hands. I'm like, you're just going to have to be upset. And a lot of people can't take it. And they're so upset that they didn't buy. They just buy to get rid of that emotion. I don't do that. I waft in the regret, and I channel that towards getting angry when I see something plummeting like this, even though it doesn't feel right. It feels right when you're taking it. It looks like it's going to break out. Oh my God, we've got a bull flag on the daily, on the weekly. I'm going to buy here. I don't do that. I buy when it's going vertically down and there's no light at the end of the tunnel, and it's scary. The second there's a light at the end of the tunnel, it starts to shoot up. We haven't even really had one other than the CFO and the CEO buying. I'm going to read something over here for you guys. So we've had an uptick that follows significant insider buying, including 25 million purchase by newly appointed CEO Stephen, I don't know how to pronounce, Hemsley, signaling a strong internal confidence in the company's future. I like that. There's literally no light at the end of the tunnel. I do think it was overreaction. This is good signs here, though. Wait, I'm already in. So when there's a light at the end of the tunnel, that gap right there is getting filled. Poof, instantly. Despite recent challenges, including a Department of Justice investigation into potential medical fraud and the sudden resignation of CEO Andrew Witty, analysts, forgive me if I didn't pronounce that right, analysts maintain a positive outlook. UBS continues its buy, quotation marks, rating with a revised price target of $400, citing confidence in the firm. So they were upgraded and the firm's long-term recovery. Did that happen today? The surge in stock price and insider investments suggest a potential turning point for United Healthcare, indicating that the company may be on the path to recover. It's already pretty much, it's recovered well from where I bought it. That's for sure. I'm up, coming up on, I just looked at this. We were at 324 after hours. Right here, we're at 316. We're at 324. In fact, let me pull this up again. These wicks today on the market, 324. We're at 324 right now. 324, 14, 15, 14. $324. So that puts us up a lot higher. Let me go ahead and pull this back up on a 15. I like seeing that gap there. 324. We're all the way basically up in here. That's nice. And I'd like to see this gap be filled. Wait, something will happen. They're going to get more buy ratings. Something good will happen. They'll say something, they'll do something. Then there'll be buy ratings. So this is great, and I'm up a decent amount of money. Look at that RSI right there. Beautiful buys, especially right there. We're a little higher, even though we went lower. Beautiful. I want that gap to be filled. We'll see if it happens. And again, guys, I only buy when the market's plummeting or an individual stock is getting destroyed. It's the only time I'll buy. And I have had fantastic confidence with that. Unless it's some speculative company. Maybe it'll be the next Amazon. Maybe their phase 2 trials will work. You know, I don't do that. It doesn't work. Doesn't work. Definitely not on penny stocks on companies that are doing ATMs. Short term, though, and mid term on penny stocks, I'm all in. Love it. Long term for companies that are going to do ATMs and have in the past, I don't know about that. So this was a fantastic buy. I've always wanted to own UNH. I wish Visa and MasterCard would have something like this. It's so hard to get in those. So we'll see what happens. All we've had is an upgrade, a revised price target of 400. If you would call that an upgrade, I'm sure UBS had a higher price target, but they revised it, which is above where it's at, which is good. And we had the CEO and CFO buy recently. I think that was on this day when we were plummeting. That signaled a bottom. If you guys like this content, make sure to like and follow for more. Before I get off this video, I called June contracts for 2026, the 400 strike. I made it a debit spread. Obviously, now I wish I went naked on that. But I went wide, 400s and 450s. I mean, it is going to be up so much tomorrow. It's already up a lot. Contracts hit about 3,000 from 2,000, like 2030, 2040, I think was the entry. And now they hit 3,000. They're around 2,800, 2,700 at close today. They're going to be up a lot more. The stock's up how much more since close? When I had looked, it was at 313. We're at 324, up $11. This is fantastic. Again, sign up for the newsletter below. It's free. Join the Discord. It's free. If you guys like this content, make sure to like and follow for more.